Well, and a very special day is coming upon us. So we have a very special guest, friend of the show, with us here today to talk about it. We want to welcome again Monica Trasandes from GLAAD. Monica, welcome to the Q Agenda again.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to be here.
Well,
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. We love it when you're here. I think the energy changes when you're here in a fantastic way. Because you're here to talk about something super important, which is Spirit Day.
Yes.
So for those who have been living under a rock, please explain to our audience what Spirit Day is.
Absolutely, happy to. It's the third Thursday in October. This year it's October 19th. And it's a day when we wear purple, we turn our social media purple, we make everything purple as a show of love for LGBTQ youth and as us taking a stand against bullying, anti-LGBTQ bullying. And it was started by a young woman who saw that some of her friends, she saw that a friend had committed suicide. And or she learned, and she knew the person was gay, and she thought, I don't think he knew how much love there was for him. And she realized there were a lot of people like that who are LGBTQ, who maybe feel rejection every day, don't feel loved, and you know, it leads to terrible feelings and sometimes really deep depression and sometimes suicide. And so she said, I wish there was a way to show my love. So she said, let's do this. Let's wear our purple. Let's make everything purple to show our love, right? So we said, that's a beautiful message. We want to help you. So we started helping her and working with her, and it's taken on a whole life of its own. Right? Millions of people around the world.
Absolutely, and I just want to mention that it's the biggest anti-bullying campaign. So how can people get involved? How do people participate and support?
Yeah, you know, on October 19th, just wear purple, do it, you can do it beforehand, turn your social media purple, and say why you're doing it, right? Say, I support LGBTQ youth. I want everyone to feel safe in their schools. I want people to feel like they can go to school and be safe, right? Because that's the big problem, right? A lot of kids now, the majority of LGBTQ kids still, at this day, tell us they don't feel safe in schools, that they hear bullying, that they hear insults in school, that sometimes teachers don't do anything, that sometimes parents don't step in to stop their kids. So even if you are not LGBTQ or your kids are not LGBTQ, please be an ally, because we need the support of allies to stand up and say, no, you know, everybody belongs in every place, from their school to their home to churches. We belong everywhere, right?
And do you think there's anything that we can do, I mean, outside of Spirit Day, that we can do to kind of help kids that are growing up who might feel like they're a part of the LGBTQ community? How can we help them, and what other resources are there for them to receive that help?
That's a great question. You know what? I think we can all be vocal in our personal lives. I really do. I think we can make it, try to talk about it, try to find a way to talk about it. You know, I try to do that. If I'm on a flight and someone asks me, what do you do? Who are you? I try immediately to you know, because that means that we've already had a little bit of a chat and they like me. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know anything about you, but if I can get you to help and spread the word, then that's really important, because it's right now the cultures in many states, in a lot of states, in this country and around the world are really tough. People are, they're politicians, I think, mostly, people who really have an agenda, a bad agenda, not a Q or a good agenda, a bad agenda, are using LGBTQ people, especially transgender and non-binary people, and trying to scare people around this country about who trans and non-binary people are. They're just trying to live their lives and be happy, right? And the parents of trans and non-binary kids are just trying to make sure they have happy kids who stay in school, who stay alive, you know. And so I raise my voice every chance I get. If we're chatting and you don't know me, I don't know you, we're on a plane, whatever, I will tell you what I do, and I'll tell you so that you can then become an ally, right? But people have to be asked to do things. They have to be told and educated so they can make their own choice. And then ask, hey, will you help out? Will you do me a favor? Will you also turn your social media purple? Even though maybe you don't know any LGBTQ people personally, but you care about everybody being safe in school and being able to learn and not having to drop out. Because that's what happens a lot too. Youth who are LGBTQ, if they're bullied enough, they can't take it anymore, they drop out.
Right. So, go ahead.
Where did the color purple come from?
It's the color of the spirit in the rainbow, I think in different you know, cultures and things like that. It's the color of spirit.
I also feel that it's a great time to also people that are wondering where to get resources and really understand how they can participate, there are some fantastic tools at GLAAD.org.
Yes, thank you for saying
there
that,
is, no, there, I
yes.
mean, I've checked them out many times. There's even a manual for anti-bullying, correct? There's
Yeah,
like some of the
there's-
rules and how do you can really enforce or manage certain situations.
Yeah, there's some stuff definitely, and it's in Spanish too. So it's GLAAD.org recursos para familias. So, you know, resources for families, because a lot of folks, you know, they want to support, but they don't know how. And so here we lead them, I think, to PFLAG en Español, which is for Latina people who speak Spanish and English, or for those who just speak Spanish. So there are, you know, there are a lot of places where people can go to get support. Somos Familia is another fantastic organization in the Bay Area, but it's national. Familias por la Diversidad is international. So there are a lot of wonderful parents and different groups that are working around the world to make sure that families have that support.
Absolutely, and I also think, you know, if you can volunteer in your local LGBTQ clubs or you know, in any way that you can collaborate, it's also a great way to grow and to like really learn how you can do something. Because really, at the end of the day, all we want is for everybody to be safe, to end the violence against the LGBTQ youth that is so prominent out there. And I don't want to end this on a negative note whatsoever, but are the numbers still really awful with regards to youth in schools and LGBTQ youth being bullied?
They are. They're still very, very high. There's a huge number of young people who report being bullied and who report feeling unsafe in their schools. And that's just too, it's can't happen. People have to stand up. Parents, you know, please teach your kids to be respectful and to be good allies to LGBTQ youth. But also, you know, those of us who are adults, get involved and, you know, and do anything you can to get that message out so that LGBTQ youth feel loved and supported. And, you know, even if things are really difficult for them right now, to hang in there. And things do get better, you know, and to keep going to school and to keep, you know, just being alive.
And thriving.
And thriving, yeah, being happy and being who they are, right? Being able to be out.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think there's no better way to end this. But again, please, everybody, remember to participate during Spirit Day. Go visit GLAAD.org and share kindness. Don't go anywhere. There's much more right here on the Q Agenda.